Alright, so we are in the smallest room I could possibly find in my house. It's my outside office, and today we're talking about the smallest light that I have. This is the Amaran 60d. It's the daylight temperature 60 watt small unit, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. Let's do this. So I ordered the 60D from Apurture. When they first released them, I got an email, and so I placed my order. Now, it did take a little while for me to get it, but now that I have it and I've been using it a little bit, I gotta say, this is a really cool light. I mean, it definitely kicks the bottom out of some of the other lights that I'm using, and it actually might even be a little bit more useful than my 200D. This one is so small, it could be powered by battery, by NPF batteries. It's able to be mounted with a handheld mount. It's that light, and so I'm really excited about the possibilities of what we could do with this light. So let's go ahead and throw this thing open and see what we've got inside. It does come in this foam case. It's like a dense foam, similar to what my Ronin gimbal is packed in. Inside, it's got everything laid out very well. There is a reflector. There is the light itself, which is very tiny. There are hot shoe mounts, power supply, and this nifty battery units. So this enables you to be able to have NPF batteries power the unit, and I've actually done that, and it's really cool. Now, I have a large collection of NPF batteries, and so I always have them available to use, and so hooking up the DC power supply might become a little bit less desirable if I just want to run it off batteries. Now, it is a 60 watt unit. It's lower on the power scale than some of my other lights, but it does give you the ability to have that nice run and gun style. So this is the unit itself. It's definitely a handheld unit. The exterior is a hard plastic. On the bottom you have your 1/4-20 mount, and on the back it's got a very clean back. Just one operable button, an on-off switch, and the DC in. On the side here there is a V-mount for mounting the battery plate. It just clicks on like so, and it's easy to pop back off. So that's really useful and handy. It's nice and secure, so if you do have large batteries hanging off of it, you know they're not just going to pop off. And then on the side here there is the small screen and a Bluetooth reset button. The screen tells you the how much is being output in percentage, and you could adjust that with the knob on the back. But overall, it's just a nice tiny little light. Now, it does come with this protecting cover. It is a COB, so chip on board, and the mount on the outside is a standard bowens mount, but I gotta say the reflector it comes with is very tiny, similar to the lights, and so it just sits right in there and turns to click. So you have a nice small compact unit, and once you add the battery plate onto it, you then can plug that into the back with a locking plug so it doesn't come out. And go ahead and reach over here and grab my batteries. I have two NPF batteries here, so I'm going to go ahead and just plug these onto the device. It's now fully operable. And yeah, here we'll go ahead and just turn it on really quick. And it is on, as you see. It does produce a decent amount of light. This right here is at 10%. So if I go ahead and increase this, now I'm looking at my monitor down here just to see how it's showing up on the monitor. But as I go, and I'm doing it by increments of 1, it's getting brighter and brighter. So if I go ahead and go to 60, this is 60%, 80%, and you just press the back button and it will do it by 20s. So click it again, it goes back down to 20. So it does have the ability to get a good amount of light in there. And let's go ahead and click that up again, and that's at 40%. So it's producing a decent amount of light. Now I am in a very small room. This is a 12 by 8 room, and it might even be smaller than 12 by 8. It might be 8 by 6. But yeah, it has the ability to sort of wash out my image quite a bit. So we'll go ahead and let's get this back down to 20%. For a light that is basically handheld, this is great. And shine it to the ceiling and give myself just a little bit more light. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out and look at this light outside, see how it competes with daylight, and we'll probably switch out my P60C here, my panel lights, with this one and see how it works. Now I do not have, I could put on some of my other diffusion attachments, but with it being a small and plastic, I would be afraid that it would ruin the attachments themselves. So what I'll probably end up doing is doing hard light or diffusing it through a sheet or just some grid diffusion. See how it goes. All right, let's do this. All right, so here we have it going through the umbrella at 40%. It's still a little harsh. It's not as diffuse. It is fairly close to me. So I did take off the reflector. And so maybe I need to bring it down just a little bit more just to make sure that it's not totally casting. I do have some shadows in the background, a little harshness here. So it is a little bright. Let's go ahead and turn it down a little bit. So here it is at 20%. I think I wouldn't quite use it this way. It's still a little harsh. You can see I still cast quite a bit of shadows in the back. I could try to increase the lighting on my backdrop, just sort of wash that out. My face overall looks pretty good. I do want to have more on one side than the other. And this is at 20%, so it's fairly low. This is a very small space, so it makes sense that it would be low. So why don't we go ahead and throw this outside and see how we do in some sunlight. All right, so here we are. We're outside. I do have quite a bit of sun hitting me from behind. I have the I have the D60 sitting here right next to me at 100%. It is going through the umbrella still, so it's giving me just a little bit of fill here, but obviously it's not going to compete with the sun. The sun's going to be much brighter, and you're going to need something like a 600D in order to compete with it. But I mean, it does do a decent job filling in. You could actually see it casting a shadow on my face, doing a good job there. And it does a good fill, so it's decent for fill lighting if you are doing something like this with the sun. So overall, I'm really excited about this light. Now this is quite a smaller light, better built, has the battery options that the my Sokani, which I'll go ahead and put that in a card here, or above. I did a review of that, and that was my other 60-watt light that is probably twice the size of this, and just doesn't have the feature functionality. Now this does work with Sidus Link. You can control it via your phone and the application, and you know, just with being able to have not only a small compact light that comes in, you know, a fairly decent carrying option with all the different accessories such as the battery plate. You can't really beat it for the sub $200 price. I very happy with this light. I'm probably gonna be using this as a rim light or a fill. I don't think it's ever going to be a main light, but for those small run and gun operations, you probably could get away with using this as you know, additional lighting or some fill. So all in all, I love this light. It's cool that it's so small, and I will probably in the future maybe look at picking up a couple more of them. And I think for a budget option for this guy, if you're looking to just start out and getting lighting with your YouTube setup, this is an excellent option for you to go with. It's sub $200, it's bright and powerful, runs off batteries, and is built with the Apurture quality. So that being said, we'll catch you in the next one. The next video we're going to be looking at the P60C, which I'm currently using right now to have my fill light, my main key light here. And it's a little bit brighter than what we were just looking at, but hey, that is what it is. So we'll catch you in the next one. Have a great one. Happy New Year, everybody.